I really do think diversification is important for agriculture in Nebraska.
Nebraska produces some of the world's best steaks, but also your favorite snacks.
Excellent product right there.
Ben Zeckman oversees a potato operation that blends into the Nebraska landscape.
Yeah, I grew up 20 miles away from here and had no idea this operation was even in existence.
Government data shows conventional farms are getting bigger, and Zeckman sees peril in becoming too dependent on corn and soybeans.
With consolidation comes the risk of stagnation. Innovation is key to agriculture, and if people get complacent, that innovation is going to stop.
Vineyards have popped up in Nebraska, plus fruits, veggies, trees, and more.
You know, there's been a lot of interest in specialty crops because it's smaller scale, but it is more manpower and a lot more infrastructure.
Extension educator Elizabeth Killinger says, like the Nebraska wines that have been bottled,
each one of those little buds could potentially turn into a little grape.
Now the brewery scene drives interest in potential for hops. But like potatoes, there's a lot of upfront cost, but also opportunity.
They want locally grown, locally produced hops, and so if you have the infrastructure and you have the crop available, there's a market.
But convincing a banker can be tough.
To educate them on what your markets are, you need to figure out where you're going to sell your products.
And vineyards worry about herbicides that drift, damaging grape production for much more than a single season.
And so then you're out several years of production while you're waiting for those vines to get of good size.
Labor's a challenge for CSS farms.
So right now they're picking out anything that has a visual defect on it.
It takes a dozen or two people year-round, plus more to plant and harvest. And Ben Zeckman says the cost to raise a crop can be 3 or 4 times what corn would be.
This is a high-risk, high-reward crop.
And potato farmers say you can pretty much forget about crop insurance.
It's essentially uninsurable.
Some conventional farmers are exploring rotational crops that could benefit the soil and diversify their finances, things like field peas.
It's a growing market, and I think there's a lot of potential. You know, there's more that are grown out in the panhandle and more arid climates. You don't see very much in central and eastern Nebraska, but the demand is certainly growing.
We control these bins to within 1/10 of a degree Fahrenheit.
For CSS farms, they take pride in sustainability while producing a product their customer, the #1 chip company, puts on store shelves.
Best product possible at all times.
Nebraska has the climate and soil, but Ben Zeckman says it's the people that makes it work.
That's what it takes. If we didn't have these guys, none of this would happen.
Ben tells me they grow several proprietary varieties developed by the nation's #1 potato chip manufacturer, but they also grow some other varieties that can be used in some other applications. They don't process those chips, they're taken one state away, but Ben says between the farm to the time they're in the bag, just about 24 hours. Well, thanks for joining us this Memorial Day weekend. Make it a good one and join us again next time.